In this tutorial, I will show you two different ways to place objects in mixed reality, with both the scene model and the environment Raycast manager. If you enjoy mixed reality development and want more tutorials like these, make sure to subscribe, and as always, if you want to get access to the full source code and exclusive content, you can join me on Patreon, the link is in the description. But without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so here we are on an empty Unity project that is already configured for VR with the Meta all-in-one SDK. And before, if we wanted to collide with the real world, we had to use the scene model. So let me quickly show you how it was done before. I can select the main camera, press on delete to remove it, and we are going to add a VR setup with the scene model simply using the building blocks by going to Meta, Tools, Building Blocks. Beautiful, here they are. We can go now to core, and this is where we will find the camera rig, which we can drag over there. Oh, and it's asking us to override the manifest, so let's click on override. Beautiful. As you can see, the camera rig is basically a VR camera for your player to see the world with the left and the right hand that will be following your controllers or the hand tracking. But now we also want to have the path through, so I'm going to drag the path through building blocks as well. This will allow us to see our surrounding. And finally, for the scene model, we can go down below to scene, and here we can drag the effect mesh. Okay, so let's put the building blocks to the side, and now the effect mesh is basically a way to display the scene model visually, and the scene model, as I told you before, is a setup that the player can create outside of your application, and that will basically estimate its real world in either a global mesh or little boxes for each of its furniture, wall, ceiling, and so on. And the good thing is we can use this scene model to get the collision of the real world. So let me show you a quick example. For this, I'm going to right click, go to 3D object, and then text mesh pro. There we go. This will create a big text over there, and we can scale it down to maybe 0.03 on all axes. Beautiful. It's over there. And so basically the idea is to actually cast a ray from the right hand, and if the ray meets one of our furniture in the scene model, we are going to place this text, and this text will contain the label of this scene model. So to do so, let's click on add component, and I'm going to name it scene collision debug. There we go. Let's create a new script, create an add. Okay, so at the script, we are going to need a reference at the top to the meta xr.mr utility kit, and then we are going to need a starting point for the ray that will find a collision, so we can call it public transform ray start point. And now let's get started and shoot a ray here in the update function. We can do ray equals new ray that will start at the ray start point dot position, and for the direction of the ray it will be ray start point forward. Beautiful. Now that's done, we can get the current scene of the player by doing mruk room equals mruk dot instance dot get current room. Beautiful. And now we can simply cast a ray simply with this mruk room, even if we don't have any collider now. For this we need one more variable here, which will be the length of the ray. So let's do public float ray length, and let's set it to maybe 5 meters. And I'm also going to add a mruk anchor dot scene labels called label filter, and I will tell you how this works in just a minute. Now finally we can cast the ray by doing bool as it equals room.raycast. This will create the raycast with our ray input, with the ray length, and finally this is where we are going to need the label filter that we just added over there. So let's do new label filter. Beautiful. And what exactly is a label filter? It's pretty simple. So as you guys know, the scene model contains different information, like for the wall, the ceiling, the floor, and the label filter will allow us basically to say if we want to collide with a particular type of element. So for example, if you want to avoid touching the wall and only want collision with the furniture, you can kind of remove the wall filter over there, and I will show you an example once we go back to the Unity editor. But for now, let's complete here the room.raycast function by calling out raycast it, this is for the output, and finally out mruk anchor, this is for the output anchor that is being found by the ray. And now if we have it something, this is where we can basically do, well, anything that we want. Now we can first get the hit point by doing it.point, and we can also get the normal of the surface that we hit with it.normal. And now with these two information, we can place any object that we want, and they will be placed somewhere that feels like it's colliding with our real world. Now something else that I'm going to do is actually go at the top and add a public reference to tmpro.textmeshpro to the little text that we have, so we can call it debug text. And now here we can do debug text, the transform.position equals it point, then debug text, the transform.rotation equals quaternion.look rotation with our it normal. This will create a rotation that is facing the same normal as this one. And finally, we can do debug text equals anchor plus, and here for the label, we can do anchor.label.toString, and this will allow us to basically write the type of object that we are currently colliding with. And that's it. With this little script, we are able to cast a ray and find something in this direction from the player scene. So let's save, go back to Unity and find out how this works. So for the text, we can actually change its color to maybe yellow to be able to see it well. I don't like the underline here. I don't know why there is this outline. So I'm going to remove it here. And now for the ray start point, we can actually shoot the ray starting from the right end of the player. For the ray length, we can set it to 5. Okay, and for the label filter, this is where you can choose what you want to include for the collision. And in my case, I'm going to select first everything and then remove here the global mesh. So the global mesh is basically like the old triangulation that is the most precise for the real world. But I think that in our case, we simply want to get the main bounding box of each object with the floor, the ceiling, so we can remove it. And that's actually what's going on also on the effect mesh. As you guys can see on the effect mesh, the labels that are being used is also everything but the global mesh. It means that we will add this mesh material to each one of these labels except for the global mesh. Now anyway, I think that we are almost ready. For the debug text, we can drag here our text. And now everything should be good. We can build and run our application to find out how it is working. Okay, and as you can see, it works. We can display not only the label that we are colliding with, but the little text is also positioning with its good orientation to the place that we are colliding with our ray. And of course, you can use this thing to place object, find collision, and so on. You can do so much thing now with this kind of setup, but the big issue with this problem is that it requires, of course, the scene model. And the scene model is a long setup that the player needs to do outside of your application. So first, it might be a bit of an overkill if your application simply wants to get a simple colliding information. And of course, you don't have like a lot of control because, yeah, your player can kind of mess up his scene model and you will need to rely on it. That's why I believe that the new environment Raycast can save you a lot of headache. So now, right now, we are going to have a look at how we can use it instead of here the scene model. So back to Unity. What we are going to do is select both the MR, UK and effect mesh, and I'm going to disable them. Here on our little debug text, we are going to edit the script to use the environment Raycast. But first, we need to actually add it to the scene. So let's search for environment, and here we cannot see it, but if we disable here this little thing, there we go, we can see here the environment Raycast manager. So let's actually type the full name, our environment Raycast manager. And here it is, we can drag and drop over there. And as I was telling you, the environment Raycast manager is actually using the depth API from the headset. And through this depth API, it will be able to give you, without the scene model, a small information about what you are colliding with the ray in your scene. So now that we have the Raycast manager, what I'm going to actually do is here, instead of the label filter, we are going to have a reference to the Raycast with environment Raycast manager that I will call env-ray manager. Oh, and it's not recognized because we need to add at the top using meta.xr, and we can actually remove here the MR utility kit reference because here for ray we are going to keep it like this, but we can remove here the get current room. And here for the Raycast, what we are going to do is do environment ray manager.raycast using our ray. And for our output, we are going to do out var it and then add our ray length. And as you can see, everything is still the same, but we don't have like an information about what we are eating, of course. So let's edit this text and rename it to environment it. Beautiful. And this way, as you can see, in no time, we were able to remove the seed model from the equation and simply use the environment raycast. So let's save, go back to Unity. There you go, we can drag now the environment raycast manager over there, and now we can build and run to find out how this works. Okay, and here you go, as you can see, it works. Now with the environment raycast manager, we can still be able to collide with the real world, but as you can see, there is no more scene model, so everything is more simple this way. We are not relying on a previous setup by the player, and look at that, even more, everything is real time. So as you can see here, the ball is moving, we can update the collision as well in real time, so I think that's a super nice feature to have on top. Okay, so now that we learned about the environment raycast manager, to finish things up with the tutorial, let's quickly edit here this little script to be able to actually spawn these it text when we press on the button. So for this, let's right click, create empty, rename it depth text spawner. Let's copy the script on the text that we created earlier and paste it over there as a new component. Beautiful. Now we can select back the old text, remove the scene collision debug right there, and let's drag it in the asset folder to turn it into a prefab. Beautiful. And now what we can do in this debug text spawner is, instead of always displaying the text, we are going to instantiate where we hit. So if we go back there, let's do if ovr input dot get down, and here let's go down with a certain button that we can actually put as an input above. So let's do public ovr button that I will call button, and we can actually initialize it to the button 1, which is the A button on the right controller. And now if the players push on this button, so if he's pressing it this frame, what we can do is do all of that code and cast array. But in our case, we simply want to instantiate this array. So let's rename this text to debug text prefab. Let's do tmpro.textmeshpro debug text equal instantiate the debug text prefab. And then we can do debug text.transform.position equals it point, and debug text.transform.rotation is equals to this. And let me actually put a minus over there because I think that it was on the wrong direction. And for the text, we can do debug text.text. Let's simply call it it. And beautiful, now with this little update of the code, we should be able to instantiate the text and place it where we were able to hit with the ray. So let's save, go back to Unity, and then let's drag our text prefab over there on the debug text prefab. We can actually select this text right there and press on delete to remove it. And now with this new script, we are able to instantiate a text and place it where we are hitting with our ray. But something that we could do is actually always be able to display the ray, and for this we have a quick solution through the Meta all-in-one SDK. So let's search for Raycast visualize right there. We can drag it in our scene, and let's search for point and locate right there, and this is a script that we can drag there on the space locator, and that will be able to display the environment ray with a certain raycast origin. So in our case, the origin is the right hand, so let's drag it over there. And with this little raycast visualize, we should be able to display the ray. And with this depth text spawner, we should be able to instantiate text where the ray is our real world. So one way to find out if this works is to build and run. Okay, and here you go. As you can see, the environment raycast is displayed with this line renderer and the hitting point. And when I press on the one button, it spawns the hit text, as you can see. So everything is working. So of course, this environment raycast can be used for many things. So it's up to you to find a good use for your own project. And just like that, you know now how to place object in MixReality using either the scene model or the depth API with the environment raycast. This environment raycast is very powerful. It allows you to instantly place content without having your player do the big scene model setup. A big thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. The names are appearing on the screen right now, and if you want to support the channel, get access to the source code and enjoy exclusive XR tutorials, feel free to join us. The link is in the description. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in the next one.